Hey gang, Chris Maholka here. For a lot of years, those of us that have been tying epoxy flies, saltwater flies especially, have been using monofilament on our spools as a fly tying thread. Now recently they've come out with a lot of different materials that they're spooling up and calling them fancy names, but in most cases, nearest I can tell, they are still all monofilament. What we've always used to tie with was 2-pound stren, and it worked really well. But something's come along recently that's even better. That is fluorocarbon. So I'm going to show you how to get fluorocarbon from your leader spool to your tying spool tonight. So a couple things you'll need to do this. One is a drill, electric drill, and a drill bit. And the size drill bit on this particular drill bit is a 5/16, and the reason I've chosen that size is because I've taken an empty spool and it fits snugly on that drill bit. It doesn't slip. Your spool of leader material, this is 6X, 2-pound, a little bit of masking tape. So to do this now, we're going to take the very end of our fluorocarbon, which is probably going to be really tough for you guys to see on camera. I'm going to put it on the top of my thread spool, and I'm going to tape it with a little bit of masking tape so it holds. Then I'm going to start my drill slightly and run a little bit onto my drill until I get tight with my spool. Now, if you're like most of us that have fished and hunted for years, you try to find somebody around the house that has a couple hands available to hold your spool for you. If that's not the case, you can find a couple ways to solve the problem. One is to take a board with a hole in it, and this is like a stand for my epoxy rotator. And you can either take a piece of wood and drive a nail in it, or in this case I'm just taking and putting a pencil in that hole. I'm going to take my spool of fluorocarbon and put it right down over that. And the reason you want this hand free is because you want to be able to guide the monofilament as it goes back and forth. Once you're set up with your spool, you've got your your fluorocarbon started. You start in with your drill, and I recommend using a variable speed drill just because the start and stop of a non-variable speed will really pull hard on your monofilament or your fluorocarbon and tends to knot things up. So here we go. There we have it. There's a spool of fluorocarbon ready to go in your bobbin and used as a fly tie material.